So let's go forward. There's no need for me to tell you that we are living in trying times, and we are always getting news about how trying the times just happen to be. This is especially bothersome if you're someone who has an appreciation for harmony in communities. The news cycle has turned into a cesspool of information, yelling, talking heads, arguing their perspectives, getting bent out of shape, insulting one another, insulting the public. And it just gets to a point where if you are one of these people who likes a harmonious community, you just can't take it anymore. But some people can't seem to get away from it. So what do we get? We get people who like to make sure that they are keeping us informed, which I think is a good thing. And in our emails and in our inboxes, almost on a daily basis, we get this news, this information, these clips, mouth dropping commentaries, and so on. But again, I get it. These are people who mean well by sending this information out. But I get it. It's a necessary evil of trying to keep people in communities informed about what's happening to their communities and around their communities. But the thing is that negative news was overwhelming even before the things that we have been going through in 2025. And it affects the consumer in a very negative way. According to Mental Health America, when people consume negative news, there are several physical and mental and emotional effects that people endure. First of all, it puts our bodies in a fight or flight mode, causing physical complications such as upset stomach, rapid heart rates, irregular breathing, etc. Also, negative news causes depression and anxiety. Believe it or not, negative news causes addiction by the way of social media. You know, doom scrolling, going back to social media on a daily basis to see what that fool has done, what this person has said. Have you heard this fool on television? And sending it out to everybody. But then also, negative news disproportionately affects BIPOC and LGBTQ communities because the negative news we get, especially nowadays in 2025, seems to be pretty relevant to the situations that we're in. Now, I would argue that the behaviors that we're seeing from a national level and from a state level in some states like Louisiana indicate that these folks know what this negative news does. I would even go so far as to say that they plant this information as much as possible. What if the end game is to make people from marginalized communities, including undereducated white people, tap out of engaging in the civic process? What if the goal literally is to make us so sick that we can hardly mentally and emotionally function on a daily basis? This is not to make you mad. This is to make you aware of what is actually coming into your mind and your soul and your body, what you are being asked to consume on a daily basis. Well, I have some news for you. It's okay to step away from negative news 24 hours. Heck, I would say 48 hours. I'll tell you what, let's go for 72 hours. What about if you were to do a social media fast? Taking a cue from Dr. Walter Kimbrough, former president of Dillard University, also known as the Hip Hop Press. Going into the Lenten season every single year, Dr. Kimbrough takes this social media fast and he says he is always better for it. I've taken a cue and I would agree with him. But Mental Health America suggests that there are other steps that you can take to protect yourself from negative news. One thing you can do is limit yourself to negative news 30 minutes a day. Heck, limit yourself to news 30 minutes a day. Also, Mental Health America suggests do something that you enjoy after consuming the news. Think about what brings you the most joy and the most satisfaction. What is that hobby? What is the time that you like to spend with friends or with families or going to work out or whatever your favorite activity is? Figure out your triggers and limit the news that you consume on that topic that gets you going every single time. Another suggestion, read the news. Studies find that reading can be less triggering than videos and audio, according to Mental Health America. And they also suggest consider the source. If it's mostly opinion and you know it, and the yelling and the screaming is nothing but a bunch of people just throwing a bunch of stuff out there, look for more reliable sources of news. In fact, in September of this year, I interviewed Tony Larned of the Builders Movement, who suggested that local news tends to be the most reliable source of news. And I'm going to offer my suggestion as one more big suggestion, and that is find news that provides solutions and some kind of hope. Negative news keeps us stuck in the now, and it takes us back to the past in ways that are not necessary all the time. Positive and solutions based news helps us strategize, mobilize, and look ahead. So let's look ahead. And that's the way forward.